Training camp starts today as the rookies report to Seattle Seahawks training camp, firing off training camp for the NFL, and it will snowball starting next week. But that is the swan song. That is the sign that we got to dig in harder for these fantasy football drafts. Today, we're going to be looking at some players that we like a lot, that we're drafting all day long, every day, especially when we're doing tons of leagues on Underdog and other platforms, as we got to get ready for our home league drafts as well. Before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now, because during training camp, we're going to look at all the practices. We're going to be going over all the news, so you're aware when you make those draft picks. We're going to be doing player lists like this, so you know the advanced metrics and the player values, rankings, then in season, going deeper than anybody else when it comes to covering the waiver wire. Anybody else, any website, any YouTube site, and then on top of that, helping you set your lineups throughout the week better than anybody else, because we'll be more willing to help you. So click that button, stop missing out. First off, Chase Brown. I can't stop drafting him. I can't stop drafting Chase Brown. I like Chase Brown. I like him this year. He's safe. The only way I could see him going down this year and not producing, injury to him or to Burrow. Outside of that, parameters, safe player, upsides there. He should be going in the first round technically, especially if you look at the production once Burrow came back or once Flacco was starting to feel it. Like, that's a first-round quality player. You're getting at the start of the seconds. He's safe. He's stable. You know the upsides in it every single week. You know he's going to be in some good game scripts. And you're looking at Chase Brown here. Why not? Why not Chase Brown? You look at the backup running backs. Nobody's back there looking to take it over. So long as he's healthy and on the field, this is the running back that I'm leaning to a lot, especially at cost right here. I think everything's aligning right now. Hopefully nothing happens during training camp, because everything is aligning, even when it sucked last year with the quarterback play. 13.1, which doesn't really count. 10.1 against Denver. 11.8. 12 against Pittsburgh. Did you want that? No. But that's a good sign. That's a good sign, because everything rocking and rolling. Everything's ready to go. Chase Brown is going to be running a lot of routes, getting the carries, and getting targets out of the backfield. Cam Skattebo. I think this team's going to run the ball a lot. I think they're going to take the ball out of Dart's hand. They're not going to have neighbors out there running routes. It's the hardball regime. He averaged 16.2 points per game. I think he's going to run a fair bit of routes, around 16 routes per game, which is very similar to the number of routes Chase Brown runs. Then he's going to pound it up the gut. He's safe, reliable, good vision. 3.84 yards created per touch. Yards per touch, 4.9. True yards per carry, 4. This is a running back that just finds the hole, battery rams it in, and can catch balls out of the backfield. I look for him to get a lot of touches, a lot of work. I look for Hardball to use him immensely. Tyler Warren. Pittman's gone. That's a lot of targets gone from this offense. You got Josh Downs. They're going to see if they can get a lot more out of him. Then they also got Alec Pierce, which we got to see when he comes back to practice. He hasn't practiced yet. He had a surgery. Alec Pierce caught that bag. He should be out there. But someone's going to have to see an increase in targets, and Pittman was a big deal in this offense. Tyler Warren, though, 6.6 targets per game, drafted in the first round. Josh Downs has an injury history. He's a little bit cheaper. He's in the middle rounds. But I can definitely forecast a story here where we're targeted early and often. We're going into year 2. We're running a lot of routes, almost 30 routes per game. Even with jabroni quarterbacks last year, it was pretty volatile, but it wasn't horrific. But with Danny Dimes out there, and Danny Dimes is semi-healthy right now, he slings it to Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is probably going to be his outlet. He's coming off from an Achilles. Probably not going to be as vibrant as last year. Probably going to try and get it out quicker, especially when he's got a rush at him. 5.4 averaged up the target. A little less than average compared to tight ends, but he's going to be used everywhere. Like always, like at Penn State. In the slot, in line, in the backfield, a little outside. Just everywhere. That's the type of tight end you got here. And you're looking at this, like where the targets are going to go. If Josh Downs gets banged up again, Someone's got to get that short to intermediate. You're looking at a lot of Tyler Warren. If Alec Pierce is covered up deep, you're looking at a lot of Tyler Warren getting targets. Jonathon Brooks. The price matches, and then when we get deeper into drafts, there's not many upside rookies. It was a bad rookie running back class. I feel like I have to chase him because if I want upside on my bench at running back, there's not many options. There's handcuffs, and then there's guys like Jonathon Brooks, Keaton Mitchell, a few others like a Marshawn Lloyd who's a little bit later. These RB2s on their team who's got some juice, but you look at this rookie running back class, it's very slim. Where last year, we're in double-digit rounds. We can wait a little bit on our third, fourth RB and start plucking away at the rookies. Jonathon Brooks, he's got upside for days in this offense. They're built to run the rock. Chuba Hubbard looks like he's on the decline right now. They want to use him. They want to use two running backs. They've said this for years now. They wanted to use Miles Sanders more, but he sucked. They brought in Rico. That's a sign. They used Rico. That's a sign. They drafted Jonathon Brooks. That's another sign. Paid heavy draft capital for him, even though he had an ACL coming in. He was damaged goods. That's another sign they want to use him and use multiple running backs. He's been looking good in practice. He's been looking explosive. Canales can't stop talking about him. We'll know if he makes it to our drafts because our drafts are usually after training camp anyways. Explosive player here with a lot of upside and more upside compared to most of the rookies, especially in his area of the draft. Most of them, almost all of them in that area, there's not much upside to chase this year when you look at that part of the draft board. So why not go Jonathon Brooks? Because if I go another running back or if I go one of the wide receivers, they're pretty much just gatekeepers on my roster. I can get the same amount of fantasy points off the waiver wire. I'm not looking to go blast off with many of those players. Jonathon Brooks is an upside young player that's a mystery box that could turn and burn for you and be explosive. If not, I can fix that quick off the waiver wire considering what's there to go against him off the draft board. Justin Herbert. I like him this year. Offensive line should be fixed up. The tackles are back. They added to the offensive line a little bit. We added Mike McDaniel. They're going to be looking to get the ball out quicker. I think he's going to be more efficient. And he was pretty efficient last year with a clean pocket. He was 8th in catchable ball rate, 5th in completion rate, blitzed 4th and 6th. Like, he gets the ball out quick. However, you look at the offensive line last year, he was running for his life. He was just trying just to stay afloat here. His protection rate ranked 21st among quarterbacks. They started season banged up at tackle. Their tackle got hurt in training camp. And then the other one went down. And Chargers fans were questioning the interior offensive line to begin with before all that happened. So now we're going to start a new season fresh here. New offensive line. We added speed to the backfield. We got another year. Quentin Johnson, Ladd McConkey going into year 3. We're going to have more creative play calling. They're switching up his footwork so they get the ball out quicker so they can get more yak for these wide receivers. That's what's been reported from practice, that they're working on more yak yards after the catch here, trying to get them in space to make moves. Should fit Ladd McConkey very well. Him and Ladd would be a nice stack. Quentin Johnson's not super expensive. He's around the same area of Justin Herbert in the draft. You're also getting 20.5 points per game last year with the offensive line being a wreck. Even at the end of the season, he could still keep it afloat when the offense is tore up on the offensive line. 14.4, 15.6, 12.5, 33.2, 17.5. You don't want that, but that sounds like good things to come when the offensive line is fixed, which it is for right now. Tucker Kraft, I love the value here. And every fantasy analyst that I listen to on podcasts are saying the same thing, and that probably just means it's going to run bad. But the thing is, like, it's fish in a barrel right now. He's cheaper than Tyler Warren. After him, you can still go tight end. Like, tight end is very sparsed out and kind of deep this year. But what I like about Tucker Kraft, lost Dobbs, lost Wicks, was still getting 5.5 targets per game, had 4 tight end 1 weeks, but 2 games past 24 points. We also had 5 games in double digits last year. The ball's got to go somewhere. Tucker Kraft's going to get it. And 8 out of 4.6, that's the question mark with him. I see that increasing with the athleticism he's got down the seam. And honestly, you look at the wide receivers here with Christian Watson and company, they're going to push it, and Tucker Kraft's just going to be able to get it in that pocket of the field. And I look for him to soak up targets in these matchups. We're going to watch him in training camp, make sure he's back, but he's back. He's back. I'm all in. RJ Harvey. I like the value here. He's cheaper than where he was getting drafted last year, and he got you 7 RB1 weeks. He's going to be running a lot of routes. J.K. Dobbins isn't getting any younger. He is going to be a 1B running back his whole career because they drafted Jonah Coleman. So I'm not expecting him to be a lights-out RB1 every week, but I can definitely forecast that because we already fired. This is a year 2 running back who produced with 12.3 points per game. Sure, you had to wait on the ramp-up period with J.K. Dobbins, but that's with most rookie running backs. He did well producing as a rookie last year in this offense. The ramp-up period's normal for a rookie running back. Almost all of them have some sort of ramp-up period. We've covered that before. Now we're going into year 2. Do I expect him to be consistent? Not really with the backfield, but at this price, it doesn't really have to be. He's got upside. J.K. Dobbins goes down. R.J. Harvey's going to be the man. I look for him as a 1B/handcuff type of deal, but not really a handcuff. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to be mixed out there. But again, J.K. Dobbins has the most extensive injury history compared to all the running backs here. And you're looking at what he did as a rookie. We're going into year 2. Usually when a rookie does this on the field, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in double-digit scoring, 12.3 points per game, they're getting drafted 3rd, 4th round. At least, if not 2nd round or so. And you're catching him around the 8th round, maybe cheaper in your home league drafts. That's something I want to dance with. And if I have to, I'll get him and Jonah Coleman. I will definitely do that. He's explosive. He's good in the receiving game. He'll be catching passes. They throw the ball a lot. They led the NFL last year in pass rates. Bo Nix in pass attempts, yards created per touch, 3.36. You can't say he was horribly inefficient. He was past 3 in yards created per touch, yards created fine. He was fine everywhere, not great. That can improve, but we got the athletic specs to do so. Let me know who you're drafting in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. When you've watched it, catch you on the next video.